Okay, welcome everybody. I'd like to introduce to you Sue Brown. Step in, Sue. Sue's a spoken word artist and she'll be performing with Fitzroy Brown. Say hello, Fitzroy. Fitzroy's our double bassist for today. So it's Fitzroy, I've got it wrong, Karen. It's live, just to prove it. I'm going to step out the way.
Get me in trouble then.
Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, when you're ready.
This piece is called Better Must Come. From the bright, sunny, tropical rhythms of the colonial West Indian collectives, easy-stepping migrants make a trot to the so-called motherland, England. You see, for many, life seemed limited and harder to prosper in their native-born land. Here, at least, England portrays a life filled with streets paved with gold. So many West Indians accepted the British invitation and made their plans. Jamaican-born musician, upright bass player, my dad, Joseph Brown, surmised, Me nah go England for idle. Just work hard for send money home, for care for family and land. Me not stopping long. Save little money, and after 5 years, me gone. Naturally, for these pioneers, later known as the Windrush Generation, this was a pleasure to come and serve Her Majesty in the rebuilding of her country, to fill the post-war labor shortage. Little did they know that after a lifetime to come, after working and contributing to the wealth of this country, that some would be serving time, even deportation, for Her Majesty's pleasure. Anyways, a Jamaican song laments. Better must come. March 1955. After 3 weeks at sea, the revamped retired warship, the Santa Maria, limbers into the cold, dark, dismal dank port of the illustrious Southampton docks. Her consignment, black settlers. A few years earlier, 1948, coverage from media attention echoed a warm and friendly welcome. Now, they provoke inflammatory headlines. Black flood. And when will it end? It looks as though the mother country's begun to express her concerns towards her colonial children. Anyway, young, gifted, and Jamaican. Felt hats, floral shirts, and of course the finest suits and dresses in the world. Disembark with style and grace. These shows had never ever seen before. Brown trendy grips suspend from rich colored willing hands. Comely, beautiful hands, hard-working testimony of heritage, culture, and pride. Lord have mercy. A this them call Great Britain. One by one, hopeful, smiling faces begin to wince and grimace at their first sight of the land of hope and glory. Confused, trembling and clinging tightly to their fluttering summer garments. Neat hats begun to leap high into the breezy, bracy, wintry air, while immaculate hairdos tumbles into an unexpected frenzy. With such a disdain approach, harsh, bitter winds terrorize and interrogate each sun-kissed traveler. obviously the forebearer to passport control regulations. God save our gracious queen. Passport. Oh, good day to you, sir. And what is your reason for coming to England, sir? Reason? But no matter England invite her children, sir. Next. No, hold on, listen. Me's a hard-working laborer from Jamaica. We come to fix up the place that Hitler mashed down. Laborer? We have different standards to what you may be used to, sir. But is you invite us to come and rebuild your broke down country, sir, because uno na do it. What else do you do, sir? Oh, me's a musician. A few of the boys, they are ready, like Andy Hamilton and the great Lord Kitchener. We bring little rhythm, become nice up the place. Yes, we've heard your jungle music, sir. It's not very British now, is it? Next. What a welcome. It wasn't long before reality began to creep through. Me say me want go home. Me say me want go home a me country. Me say me want go home. Me say me want go home a me yard. A few months later, letters home to let folks know that England wasn't quite what they had expected. Dear Mama, good day. I hope when this letter reach you, it may find you in the best of health. Mama, you remember the English white man who come to town begging us to come and rebuild the motherland? Guess what? Me can't find him. Now him did say, oh, we are all brothers and sisters in this world. What better to come and serve those who served and fought for your free world? And Mama, remember all the jobs and vacancies this man did advertise? Him never tell we say we have to read between the lines, the lies, to discover the unwritten laws of the color bar system. As professionals, we already have the experience, but them tell we say, oh, with great enthusiasm. You'll have to retrain, start at the bottom, reapply, then come again. But it not stop there. Every house me go for apply, Mama them put up signs saying, no Irish, no dogs, no blacks. But where were those signs when we were called to fight in their great white world wars? And as for the streets being paved with gold, Mama, Jamaica might be poor and have little things, but at least we clean. Clean. Mama, me carry the big old bass to perform at one club. Me walk little more because what? Nobody want give me a lift, not even taxi. When me reach at the doorman blocked me, him said, we were expecting you earlier, boy. Anyways, it's whites only, and you're not welcome. So, hop it. When me looking at the window, the band is white, them a play jazz, but them already have a boy a play bass. Him couldn't even run the scales. But his skin is white, and mine is not. Mama, this place really looked like the land of hardship for the black man, woman, and child. perhaps nothing really changed from the plantation system. But we not give up. Who knows what the future will bring if we make a try? After all, we are West Indians, and as African ascendants, we have to remember, say, the great Marcus Messiah Garvey come and inspire us from these tribulations. So, the harder they come, we know, say, we have to stand firm. We can't make them beat us down. Anyhow, Mama, we see how things go. Better must come. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sue,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Wow.
I don't know where to start with that, but I'll tell you where I am going to start actually. Audience, our in-house studio audience, make some noise for Sue Brown. And I'm going to get it right, Fitzroy Karen, our bassist. Well, I'm to Fitz.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant, thank you. So Sue, I was stood there making some notes, so I've got paper in my hand this time, and I don't know where to start to unpack that as well. So let's go back to the beginning, because
Okay.
I mentioned your father, Joseph
Joseph
Brown. Let's
Brown.
start at the beginning.
Okay.
So tell me a bit about Joseph Brown
All right.
and what inspired
Like
you.
many people who came here in the 50s, 40s and 50s, my dad came here. A few years later, my mother came, and they came from Jamaica. And as my piece shows, you know, their time here, it wasn't quite what they had expected.
Yeah.
But, you know, but as he said, we are, as he would put it, we are Jamaicans or we're West Indians.
Yeah.
And you just have to try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you find he spoke about his experience here? I mean, you remember me.
Yeah.
Did he speak about it a lot? Was he
All
involved?
the time.
All the time. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got this mixed message where some people didn't talk about it,
Yeah,
didn't enjoy it.
but he taught about it.
Yeah. And there was something else. There's a few things. Viewers, you've got to hold on. We're going to be jumping around here like crazy so much as well. You talked about the 5-year plan as well, which most of them came here with a 5-year plan.
Five-year
So
plan.
can you
Yeah,
elaborate
so
on that?
that was the idea. Like you said, save some money to go home, just be here for 5 years. But then after a time you're here and then you perhaps have a relationship, have children, you know, and then things are hard to kind of return home. So many stayed.
Yeah, and I think that's why we now have our first, second and third generation of descendants as well.
Yeah.
So let's go back as well. What else did I pick up? There's so much to talk about there. You talked about him playing with Andy Hamilton as well. Another
Yeah,
great drummer
so
as well.
I'm not sure if my dad knew Andy before he left Jamaica, but definitely when he came here.
Yeah.
So as a bass player, so my dad played upright bass, he played baritone sax, clarinet. He played a number of instruments actually.
Right, as well. And is that where you picked up your musical ability?
Yeah, in a spoken word fashion.
Spoken.
Yeah, I don't play an instrument.
You don't play instruments
No.
after all that?
I know. So when I was asked to do this piece, I thought it would be fitting to have a bass player, and hence this is why I asked Fitzroy.
So it's a tribute.
Yeah.
A tribute to Joseph Brown.
Yeah.
As
yeah.
well. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about as well, you really packed a lot of information in there about
Yes.
everybody's experiences. So it was really, I don't have much to say after that. I had a whole script here to talk about, and you seemed to
And
fit it in the
that's it,
song
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
How long did it take you to write that song?
So I think the first two verses were first two paragraphs, there was something that I'd written before, so I adapted it for my dad. So all those things about my dad, those, I put in later on.
Okay, as well. Now, you talk about influences from the Windrush generation as well.
Yeah.
Your first descendant, Windrush, is
Yeah,
the generation as
yeah,
well.
I was
So
born.
what's your experience? Let's put your families aside. What's your personal experience of Windrush, and then reflecting that back in the song? Because like I said, you spoke about a lot of things that would have been
Yeah.
personal to you.
Yeah. I was born in the 60s, 1961.
You didn't have to admit that. but okay.
That's cool. And so my earliest memories, things were hard. I remember my dad, going to work as a laborer and stuff. My mother died when I was very young. So it was difficult for him to look after children
Right, okay.
in those times, and the infrastructure wasn't really set up to help support in the way
it may do today.
Oh.
So he had to kind of rely on a few friends and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that community again, isn't it? Where people came in and stuck in their little communities and villages as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. So we've run out of time, unfortunately, but there's so much more. But thank you for joining us, along with Fitzroy.
Thank you. All right then. Thank you.
Thank you.